Hi, my name is Tanya and welcome to my small backyard vegetable garden here in central Victoria. We are about to head back into a few really hot days with temperatures expected in the 40s after some beautiful cooler days, and it has been so nice to be out in the garden just taking care of these little jobs like finally getting on and deadheading the dahlias. I absolutely love these dark-leaved dahlias. The colors are very basic and absolutely beautiful, and I have a packet of seeds which I plan to get in and get them growing because the other dahlias might go. I'm going to get on and dig up this last tub of potatoes. This was the tub that had the metal crate around and that I'd built the soil above the top of the tub. I have used that mesh as a guard around some other capsicums that I planted in the last potato pot, but I'm going to get these all out so I can plant it up with something else. All the leaves had died back, and it's going to be interesting just to see what I can find in here. Now that's a decent size, that one. I'm not sure that there will be many. I don't think that these purple varieties are heavy croppers. This soil is absolutely beautiful now. The color of these potatoes are just so pretty. I was trying to just use my hands and that tin to get the soil out. Did not want to stab any of the potatoes, but this is taking far too long, so in with the shovel I go, very carefully. And there's another one in the first scoop. And a decent sized one there. And a little one. They certainly look like good potatoes, and I do love these pink and purple colored potatoes. But I don't think it's going to keep me in potatoes for very long. These will be absolutely perfect for dinner though. Now I'm going to get all this beautiful soil back in this tub. Well, as much as I can fit in. There will be a bit left over. Going to add some blood and bone, worm castings, and some dynamic lifter. mixing that through the top. And then I am going to get some wool over the top just to keep the top of the soil protected until I decide on what I'm going to plant here. I need to put down some straw as well. I have a few leftover capsicums that I may plant in there, and then that will be one whole row of capsicums with some eggplants in between. These eggplants have grown so fast. This is the white, mini white. And there is a Slim Jim, and I can't remember the other name. And these are the candy stripe capsicums and the Mad Hatter, along with some overwintered capsicums from last year. The raspberries have taken a real hit with the ups and downs of these hot days that we've been experiencing, and a lot of fruit have just cooked on the canes. So when we see the odd little fruit, we make sure to grab it and make the most of now what will be the end of our raspberry season. It has been a very prolific raspberry season here. I've thinned a lot of leaves out of these Thai pink egg tomatoes, hoping to get as much light in as possible. On the cooler days, I don't want any of the flowers or fruits shadowed with thick amounts of leaves. I was pretty hard cutting them back. Between Christmas and New Year, I've had a little bit of time off, and I've been able to start work on my as plastic free as I can watering system. I'm still waiting on a few pieces to arrive. These bush beans were getting very leggy, so I made a little trellis. I have to cut down the height of these end stakes, but these are in flower. These are the romas that I put in during the frost times. The Japanese climbing cucumbers are looking very happy, and I think they have doubled in height since my last video. I think they were about there. These are the Tasmanian chocolate and the vanilla marigolds. These are the red skin capsicums. There's 4 Tasmanian chocolate, and these are the San Marzano. There is 4 of those. I think each cage has 2 plants in it because that's what I potted up from my seedlings. And I put some spring onions down here. And finally, the indigo ruby tomatoes are taking off. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any tomatoes, but this tigerella is looking pretty happy. Lots of flowers. And one of my favorite things to grow is the purple climbing beans. I absolutely love these, and I grow them every year. Over to the rhubarb, and this Russian giant is producing heaps. Even the red dragon, which were just newly planted a couple of months ago, and this is the Sydney Crimson, and you can see just how green it is, the stems, when it's got some shade on it. And this rainbow chard has fully gone to seed, but I'm not pulling it out due to so many ladybugs living in it. This came out over Christmas, and they are absolutely beautiful. This is the mid-height one and the tall one. And I'm just waiting on the lower growing sunflower to flower. But these leek flowers are fantastic every year. They are a favorite, and it brings in so many bees to the garden. The basil I planted along here is really getting going. We've got some tomatoes here going into that opaque color they go just before they start to ripen. This basil is fantastic. And this one has grown so fast. The Dancing with Smurfs, I have some still in pots, and they are tiny. So it just goes to show getting things in the ground really spurs them on. This is the pink bumblebee. More basil. I'm going to pick some of that later on. And this is the chocolate cherry. And this is the pot of basil I just threw some seed in. And the smell of this is absolutely divine. This is the green basil that I sowed, but the same time as the purple. And there is a fair bit of difference in growth. But a priority is to get all these beds here mulched with the wool over the top of the straw. I'm going to take off any of the loose straw in the path and add it to the garden beds along here. I will then put the wool over the top and put down some fresh pea straw through the path. These ivory rose calendulas are absolutely gorgeous. And the hot biscuit amaranth stayed far too long in the seed snail. And the tomato honeybee has been so slow. I have nearly given up. This is the midnight snack tomato. This is the sunrise bumblebee. And this is the indigo rose tomato. This is the orange flash calendula. And down the other end into garden bed 3 and 4, I've got the tender green bush beans. I'm thinking that I may, with all of the bush beans, just put a few extra seeds in and they can come up beside the plants, and that will be more like a succession planting of them rather than starting any separately. I've taken the covers off all these cucumbers. They were getting tall, and when the leaves are close to the top of the metal, which is the base of the metal bin, can burn the leaves. So I've taken those off, and just to get them ready for this warmer weather, I've put some hessian across the top so that they've still got a little bit of protection, but not the burning tin so close to their leaves. And this is the orange flash calendula. A few more spring onions and some more leftover tomatoes that I have dotted in between the melons. I'm not sure if there will be room for them, but I didn't want to waste any plants. So they can scramble up there together or not. So I've just done a mix of indigo rose and dancing with Smurfs in between the watermelon. These are the ballottis and more of the tender green. I've set up a watering system in this bed and the corn is absolutely loving it. It is growing so fast. These are the Australian butter pumpkins. And the loofah, and just because there's never enough purple climbing beans, I just threw in a couple of handfuls into 2 holes and they came up within days. So a succession planting of those, And the tromboncino is growing extremely fast. This corn is looking absolutely beautiful. I do hope that we get cobs off it. Just put this wire here to extend the bed across, and hoping that I can train these zucchinis and squash and grow out over this mesh. It just gives them a little bit of support instead of them just hanging over the edge of the bed. Just placing the leaves through the mesh to try and keep them in place. And they definitely want to head back in the other way, but I'm not going to let them. They are looking very happy. I'm hoping it's going to be one big leafy edge along there. And if the wire is sitting too upright, I can always bend it down. Now I'm going to pick some of this rhubarb, the Russian giant. There is so many stems that I need to clear some of them out. There is no way I'm going to leave them to go to waste, and the color is absolutely so beautiful. And now for some of the red dragon. They are a bit fragile in the ground, so it's best to be very careful. Just trimming them up while I'm out here in the garden. It's so much easier than taking everything inside and then bring it all back out again. And the difference in the color is quite amazing. The Russian giant is very shiny, beautiful looking stems. Now onto some basil. I'm just going to tip prune all these plants. They will fill out. This is just beautiful. It is so nice to have fresh basil again. The smell of it is definitely summer. And I did hop down here to take a thumbnail picture, and Hunter was not having any of it. He was not cooperating at all. This terracotta wine chiller has been working a treat in this big tub.